we are back at No Limits Archery in Denver, Colorado, probably the greatest bow shop on the planet, along with my lovely co-host, Phil, the Iceman, Big Sexy Mendoza, and we're joined by Alex Cole, the Hoyt ref for the area. Hopefully these guys can maintain their composure as we talk about something slightly sexier than Phil, which is the new 2016 Hoyt lineup. Alex, why don't you tell us a little bit about these badasses we have here before us?
So we got two new ones, completely 100% redesigned for 2016. This is the Carbon Defiant in Ridge Reaper. It's 31 inches axle to axle. Completely new limb design, new riser design. It's 3.5 pounds. Unbelievably smooth, quiet. There's absolutely no vibration. This year we added an optional limb stop, which makes that back wall really solid, but even without it, it's super solid. It's got our ZT torque roller guard, which basically takes out all the torque out of the riser. It's tough to put it into words. I mean, it's probably the nicest bow I've ever shot.
Show that sexiness to the camera too. Look at the Ridge Reaper. We didn't get to see this when we had Matt Davis on the podcast, but look how good that looks. And you will not believe how light that is either in your hand. What's that weighing in at right there, all dressed up?
Well, it's probably about a little over 4. It's 3.5 bow only.
I've got to compliment you on the orange accents with the Ridge Reaper. Looks very nice.
Yes. Yeah, it does look good. Looks really good.
And you've got to shoot this, right, Phil?
I did. I got to shoot this earlier today. I shot the Defiant in the aluminum series, but the Carbon Defiant, I got to shoot it today, and it blows away the last couple of years of carbon bows that you guys have come out with, hands down. This is the best carbon bow you guys that I've shot. You know, and it's smooth, it's quiet, and it's just that what it's designed to be is lightweight and it looks sexy.
It looks great. The one thing, especially for the Western bow hunter, that I think's unbelievable this year, the string angle's a lot better. So this bow shoots at 31 inches like what our last year's 34, even 35 would feel like. So it's a lot more comfortable to shoot, but still in a really lightweight, compact design. Still get great speeds, absolutely no vibration, and it's really, really quiet. I can't believe. I just sit back. My job's easy this year. Just sit back and just watch the smiles, really.
And we mentioned this before. Matt Davis, past show guest, the Hoyt Pro Staff, head of it. You know, look how good he looks. He told us. He told us these bows would be great.
I got to call him out. I'm waiting for my autographed copy. I'm waiting for my autographed copy. So, I love the carbon, right? I'm an aluminum guy. I like a little bit more weight in my hand. I'm shooting target tournaments. You heavy up your bow, you steady up your bow, and I got to shoot the 34 today, and that's what I shot the Nitrum 34. That's what I hunted with, and it was awesome, accurate bow. Getting to shoot this one here, it was like I almost told Alex I was going to take that off his hands. I'm going to Nebraska here in a couple days because it's that smooth. I mean, tell us a little bit more about the improvements, I guess, in the aluminum series. It's the same, limb pockets and cams as the carbon, obviously, but
yeah, same limbs. Really just it's a little bit heavier feel, I guess. But a lot of people like that solid feel. I mean, you have a target background. A lot of the target guys like just a heavier bow in general, and it's not heavy by any means, but it's a little bit heavier. Yeah. But really, you get all the attributes that the carbon has with the new limb, the new pocket, the new cam. One thing with the cam that I'm hearing, I've only had these bows a couple weeks, but I've been 2 weeks on the road and seeing consumers and seeing my dealer base. The comments on the cam and how it draws is different than anything that Hoyt's ever put out. It's very smooth and consistent all the way back, and I don't know, I get a lot of compliments on that. The 34 is just a little bit bigger version, and then we have a turbo that kind of sits in the middle as far as axle to axle. It's a 6-inch brace height, still getting 350 feet a second, which is pretty phenomenal. And we didn't lose any speed this year from last year's bow. And I think this is smoother and quieter and less vibration.
Right.
So everything got better.
Yeah, no, I think hands down it's going to be a better year for us, than it was last year with the Hoyt sales. It's top-notch equipment. Happy to have them in, and really, I'm happy you were able to come out for the opening.
This was awesome.
So
it's really cool.
You got any other
No, there you go. You know, you heard Matt Davis say it. This line is going to blow even last year's line out of the water, and you know, apparently it has. So get to your local dealer, try them out for yourself, because you know you're the ones who have to shoot them. You're the ones who buy them. So you might as well like what you're doing. That is smooth. That is nice. That's something.
Yeah.
I like the way it is. It's, you know, what is it always going to be? That's butter. Will, back with you at No Limits Archery Phil Shop here in Denver, Colorado. I'm with Andrew Munsell. A lot of you probably heard him on, I think it's our second podcast. He was on from Hamsky Archery, maker of the greatest rest in the world, pretty much. You know,
that's pretty flattering there, Will. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So I hear you have some new stuff.
Wow, you know, Will's been pinging me all day.
Just tell us a little bit. Give us a little something.
Right,
what can people kind of expect? It will not be a site.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
All right, you're not saying. You're just saying.
Just saying. I'm not saying.
All right.
Everyone knows about the Versa Rest, I think, and the people that do. It's accolade, setting world records, back-to-back IBO World Championships, ASA championships. The list is actually pretty long. A couple Grand Slams are going to be finished this year with the Versa Rest. So it's got quite the pedigree. So if we were to come out with anything, it would have to meet the standards, right, and the pedigree of the Versa Rest. And I got to tell you, it was pretty hard to ensure that if we were to come out with a new product,
right,
that it had the quality, right, it had the features to meet its big brother.
It has to hold up
to the Hamsky name,
right?
And we want to also introduce Hamsky to the folks, that being a little more cost competitive. You know, those would be things we might want to entertain if we were going to come out with something new. I'm not saying.
You're not saying. You're just saying that
right?
Maybe that could be very interesting.
Yeah, so that's, those are all speculative.
Why don't we bring the camera in here? You hear the name Versa Rest, but a lot of people probably don't know where that gets its name. If you bring it in close lane here, why don't you just walk us through the different setups and ways you can run this here rest?
So this display right here shows what looks like to be 4 different rests, but it's really the Versa Rest set up in all the different configurations. So you can set it up as a target blade. What's unique about this situation is it also has this torsional spring tension. So if you buy a conventional target blade rest, you don't get this. You only have one parameter to set, which is the thickness of the blade. This, you can actually change the spring rate on the torsion spring and combination with the thickness of the blade to get the right tune. You can actually set it up as a limb actuated. Let me do that again. You can actually set it up as a limb actuated rest for hunting or target, which is really nice. I know a lot of folks, they'll actually set it up in the static blade configuration and shoot their big fat indoor arrows on this setup, and then they'll add this arm right here and then limb actuated to shoot their skinny little field arrows with, and they'll never change they don't have to take the rest off their bow or anything. It's kind of a nice deal. So you can shoot 2 arrow setups with 1 rest setup and 1 bow.
It's like a transformer.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Is there any other? I mean, you also have it set up here to the draw style.
Yeah, you can actually set it up as a conventional fall away. You can set it up on the cable slide. A lot of bow companies don't even offer that anymore, but you can set it up also tethered to your bus cable as well. So, and you can set the arrow rest up all these different ways without taking the arrow rest off your bow. So that's kind of nice.
Is there any other rest that even comes close to being this versatile?
Not in a single rest. You would have to buy, in many cases, 3 rests to do this. A lot of manufacturers other manufacturers do make, limb actuated rest. They'll make a fall away, they'll make a static blade. They all run between $100 and $150, so you might be looking at maybe spending $450, right, to get 3 rests. So that's why we call it the Versa Rest.
So where can people, I've also heard it's just unbelievably tough. You can't break this thing.
Yeah, so if you don't already know, this particular rest here was co-designed by Tim Gillingham.
The Hammer.
AKA the Hammer. And he gets his nickname from a couple of spots, the way he shoots, but also the way he works on equipment, like with a hammer. He uses equipment as a hammer. So we did go through a couple of design iterations. If there's one person on the planet of archery that can break something, it's Tim. So he hasn't managed to break our rest yet. So, and he's still shooting the first generation of those the rest on some of his bows.
Really?
Yeah, anyone that knows Tim or any top level pro archer, they just shoot thousands and thousands of rounds through their equipment.
So you're not going to be shooting more arrows than Tim. That's just pretty much.
Well, it's a possibility.
Possibility, but probably won't be shooting more arrows than Tim.
I'll say it this way: you won't be shooting as many arrows as accurate as Tim.
That's definite.
That's
definite. That's a definite.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew. Thanks for joining me. And
appreciate it, Will.
Hey, my pleasure. And where can people find these lovely Hamskea products if they don't happen to be here at No Limits Archery in Denver?
You can go online at www.hamskeaarchery.com and look us up there, or just go down to your local pro shop and ask them to show you our entire line.
And as always, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Natural Born Hunter podcast here on location at No Limits Archery with our grand opening today. And Will's come all the way out from New York. We've had some great people come through the doors here. A lot of participation with trying out new bows, with some giveaways we had. And I'm pretty excited to have Hoyt and PSE here representing, because in my opinion, as a shop owner here, these are the 2 bow lines that have impressed me the most this year. So that's where I kind of get to put my personal feelings a little bit into the game as far as what we carry, because it's my money. We're buying the stuff to stock the shelves with.
Absolutely.
So we got Justin here with PSE. New technology this year that the PSE's come out with. I was impressed with the bow. Like I said, of shooting, I'm not going to name other brands that I was less impressed with. I'll just say, like I said, Hoyt and PSE, in my opinion, were the 2 front runners with new products. So tell us a little bit about the new carbon bow you got here.
So this is brand new technology. We did a carbon bow down in 1995, one of the first to do carbon. This is a brand new technology. We're using it in the IndyCar space shuttle technology. It's actually a bicycle frame company out of Utah that they're building a single fully, machine carbon. We have a core system that dampens from the inside, so we fully machine a core inside of this and then overlay the carbon. So it's brand new technology to the industry. 3.1 pounds. We weighed everything with the sights and accessories, and it weighs 3.9. So we're sub 4 pounds with this bow. Super light, shoots 340. Great performance on it. So.
And you've moved your the cable guide here. What's the story with that?
So what we've done is we says, okay, just like we were one of the first to come out with the pre-flex limb, let's say we pre-flex this 30%, we've kind of done the same thing with the cable guard. We says, okay, instead of starting here and ending here, why not just start where we ended, have a less of an angle coming into the cable, come straight through.
All right.
So you guys got, probably more bow models than any other manufacturer that I sell in the shop. And when you came out with all the different target models and hunting models, this is more typical of your high-end target shooter setup. So tell us a little bit about, because this is new this year as well.
This is called the Expression. We also make an Expression 3D, 40.5 axle. Our 3D is 36.5 axle. You're going to see all of the big boys, Gillingham, Nathan Brooks, a lot of the big guys shoot this. They were actually the ones that came up with a lot of the features on this. One, we've got the heavier riser, machined aluminum. You've got a lot of delicacies, different things this way, but probably the biggest feature with our flex limb, our contained pocket, platinum strings, carbon, flex guard this year. All of our things are, this is probably our biggest. I don't know if you can see this, but we now are using, we're the first in the industry to use a left-right ILF limb adjustment, like on traditional Olympic recurve bows. Now you can use a left and right pocket adjustment to do your micro tuning. And if you know Tim Gillingham, that's probably a huge reason why we're doing this.
We've had him on a podcast about a month ago or so.
Yeah, for those of you who have heard the podcast or saw it that we had Tim on, you know how, I'm going to say, anal and specific Tim can be with his equipment.
Absolutely.
He'll run something 1,000 times before he will actually take it out and compete with it.
And he's rung us through the ringer, and that's, I think he's given us a challenge saying, hey, come up with something no one's done. And this feature, you can now micro tune. You don't have to shim, you don't have to do spacing, you don't have to do any movement wise. It can actually move your pocket in and out, left and right, however you like. So great feature.
Yeah, and like I said, impressed with the lineup, man. I appreciate you coming out. I mean, Will, you got any other questions on the new PSCs out here? You haven't got a chance to shoot too many of them, but
no, I think we're gonna shoot them, and that'll just lead to new questions.
So,
you got it.
Well, we like I said, appreciate you coming out, and
absolutely.
And I guess Will's been giving you the play-by-play on the day's events, but a lot of fun today. We've got a lot of things in the works for the rest of this year in 2016. So check out the Natural Born Hunter podcast for details, as we will be hitting the road a little bit here after the first
That's
of the year.
right. ASA coming up. I think we're going to make it, or ATA, sorry, coming up. I think we're going to make it shot. And if you want to shoot any of these bows or products you've seen, the videos we've made, of course, stop into Big Sexy Phil Mendoza's shop here. Give him a try. Find out why he is the greatest shop in the world. Or go to your local PSE dealer, drop on in, and check out their stuff. Compare all the bows, shoot all the bows you can, and make your decisions from there. I think I like the carbon bow.
Oh yeah, for sure.